Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Iron Mind, the podcast that's going to blow your mind. I am Adrian. I am the host of this program. And today's episode number 16 means it's week number 16 that I've been doing that. And I am sorry I am late. I am late. I was supposed to release this episode yesterday. I didn't because I am quite busy at the moment. We have this competition that is going to be in 2 weeks. The competition is in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Training's getting a bit crazy. My life around's getting a bit crazy, and I don't have a lot of time to do some research. But today, the episode of the day is about what we have with our phone. Is our phone controlling us, or are we controlling us? I am puffing right now, and I don't even know why I am. But some people ask me, why are you still doing the podcast? And basically, it's like, when you write in a journal and you write your day and whatever, is what I'm doing with you guys. I'm sharing what I'm feeling during the week, what I'm learning, because the goal of this podcast is to learn to be a better person for my future, for my future partner, my children, my family, my friends. I want to be a great person to be around, and I hope that's going to help me grow a little bit and be the best version of myself. So yeah, today, episode number 16. Before we keep on rolling, remember I always say that make sure to like, share, and subscribe. More we have subscribers on this channel, more. At some point, I will bring some guests when I'm gonna have a little bit more money. I would buy a second mic and I would bring some guests in. I have some of my friends that are interested to come in. I have a therapist. I have some filmmakers. So we can make this podcast a little bit more fun, having guests. I believe so. So don't forget, a little subscribe, a like, and a sharing won't kill anyone. So fucking do it. Anyway, so is your phone controlling you? That's the title of the podcast. Are you always on your phone? Are you like me, an addicted? I am. And I am aware of it. I'm gonna work on it. I'm trying to be a better person around my phone and not getting my phone controlling me. Really hard though. Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a question. When was the last time you went full hours without checking your phone? For me, it was probably like a long, long time ago. As I say to you, quite often on my phone, scrolling when I have a notification popping up. If it's a message, I'll read the message, and straight away I'm going. My attention level shift into some Instagram reel or TikTok reel, whatnot, which is fucking stupid, and it makes me so angry about it. But it is what it is. We are in a generation where the phone used to be. How do you say that? Your phone used to be how would you say that? A tool? I would say, yeah, your phone used to be a tool, now it's part of you. You bring your phone everywhere. You go to the restaurant, you go to the toilet, you go to the bed. Your phone is an accessory, but it's part of you now. So there is some of my friends who are still like very good with their phone, and I'm so jealous of them. I wish I never start Instagram. I wish I never done all those TikTok or whatever. All those social media that are supposed to make you a little bit more social and more accessible, which I feel is doing the total opposite. Remember, I put the podcast in few segments. Segment number one is the invisible habits. Phone are not just a tool. Sorry, they are an extension of us, and that's a true reality. It's like, as I say to you, you wake up, you check them, you go eat with them, you take them in the bathroom, you take them in bed, and you start by TikTok, Instagram, that are designed to make us scrolling, and we don't stop scrolling. Why? Because it keep your dopamine level high, and the dopamine level, remember, is a chemical in the brain that make you feel amazingly good. Um, and the scary part of it is most of the time you don't even notice when you are doing it. And it's true, is what I say to you. You go on your phone, you open up a message, and suddenly you say, "Oh, I'm gonna watch just this reel," and then 30 minutes later, you're like, "What the fuck I've been doing? I've been on my phone for 30 minutes, and I didn't learn anything. I didn't do anything that's very useful and practical, and is a waste of your fucking time." So 2026 is a big challenge for me. Is trying to get less and less and less on those apps. I had to post some video because I signed up some contract with brands that tell you, can you post at least a reel or whatever once or twice a week. So you do it because it's part of the deal you've got. But as much as I can, I would try to get away from my phone, because the present moment, there is nothing better than a fucking Instagram reel. So the invisible habit is what I said to you before. Your phone used to be a tool, now is an extension of us. So it's, you don't think about it, but you have it all the time with you. All the time you have your phone. You never, is rare, and I'm, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's rare. I'm pretty sure most of you never had a 1 hour break without your phone. And when I say 1 hour break, is like not even a message, nothing. It happened to me when I train, and that's why I love training so much, because I feel I'm resourcing myself on the fact that I don't have a lack of attention. I'm focusing on what I'm gonna do, and and I think that's so important. That's so important to be focused on what you're gonna do, because the problem with the fun, the problem with all of those stuff is you're gonna have, like, you're gonna see on different segments, you're gonna have like a realization of like, oh, that's why I am like that. And I was talking with a girl at the gym, and she was saying, oh, I started Instagram because everyone had it, and I realized then so many things around my life start changing, my mood, my attention level, everything. So fun are good, a good tool that can help you a lot. And I use it, it can help you a lot. And for me, for my job, I think it's really important to be on social media, because more people see you moving, more people want to move like you, and maybe they text you and say, can I have a PT with you and learn how to do this movement, etc., etc. Segment number 2 is what it's doing to your brain. Every notification, every like, every scroll trigger a small release of every scroll, sorry, triggers a small release of dopamine. And remember, it's a chemical that we call the feeling good chemical. Over time, your brain start to crave that stimulation. This can lead to shorter attention span, difficulty to focus, feeling restless when you are not stimulated. Every every time you are scrolling, you find yourself checking your phone halfway through, like a movie, for example. Quite often, you are in a movie and you are like not into the movie because your lack of attention is so poor. And what are you doing? You are taking your phone and you watch something. One of the person that I like a lot the other day, I sent her something, and this person was at the movie and she replied to me. And that's a thing I don't understand, because I believe that when you like a movie, you are focusing on what you watch. You pay attention to every detail. You don't let this little thing, this little square coming into your life. And when you do that, that means your brain is struggling to stay engaged. And it goes deeper than that. Constant comparison on social media can lead to anxiety, low self-esteem, and even depression. You're seeing highlights on a reel of other people's life, and you are comparing your life every single time. But this is not reality. This is fucking fake. That's not a fair comparison, but it still feel real. Yeah. How many times you watch some of your friends that are traveling and do that? I have one of my good mates is like, I mean, wealthy, making a lot of money. He's an IT guy, and the guy always posts video of him traveling. Sorry. And one day I tell him, I was like, "How the fuck you do that, man? That's so impressive. I would love to try." And he say, "Man, you just see the good side of it, but I'm struggling as well because I spend too much money on that." And then on social media is always cool, but is quite challenging. It's quite challenging. I'm not the richest man on earth than it looks like on Instagram, and at least you have the honesty to say that. But a lot of people would pretend and say, "No, my life is fucking amazing," and he say, "No, my life is not the greatest, but I just want to enjoy every second of it. And if I don't have a lot of saving, it's all good. I can still do what I like, and fair enough." So remember, segment number 1 is the invisible habit. Means that your phone used to be a tool and now it's not a tool anymore. It's an extension of us, and you don't notice it anymore. Segment number 2, what is doing to your brain? To your brain is basically a release of dopamine, feeling good chemical, and also lead to a short attention span, difficulty focusing, feel restless when you are not stimulated, and yeah. I'm pretty sure you notice all of those stuff. Segment number 3, it's sleep and overstimulation. Let's talk about something that a lot of people ignore is your sleep. How many of us are scrolling before bed? All of us. Let's be honest. All of us are scrolling before bed. I start doing a very good job putting my phone outside the room, and I think is a good thing. But at the moment, I'm sleeping on my couch because one of my friends living with me, and yeah, I'm a bit of a naughty boy. I deserve a little slap on my head. Naughty boy, Adrian. The blue light from your phone can disturb your sleep cycle, making it harder to fall asleep and reducing sleep quality. So the blue light is what the screen project on your face. Basically, yeah, it makes you a little bit more awake, more stimulated. But it's not just the light; it's the stimulation of your brains. The brain stays active and engaged and alert all the time when you are scrolling. When it should be winding down, and winding down can be reading a book, or actually reading a book. There are some people who tell me, man, I'm so involved in the fucking book, then I cannot sleep after. I'm like, oh well, I'm not one of them. I'm absolutely not one of them. Like when I read a book, when I start reading, after 3 pages I'm already half asleep and I don't remember what I'm reading. But there is a quote, I don't know if it's a quote, but someone say, if you knew that every pages of your book you're gonna read was the last time you could read it, would you pay more attention? Would you focus more on what every single word would say before you turn the page? And that's not me. I read. Sometimes I don't really get it, but now I have how do you call that? Those electronical book. I don't know how you call those one. Can I have it on my table over there, but I don't remember. And the cool thing is you can press on the word when you are foreigners and it's your second language. You press on the word and it give you the definition. It's incredible. It make me understand a little bit better the book I'm reading, because before sometimes I have word or some sentence, then I'm like, what the fuck that mean? But I keep on rolling because I'm like, I need to finish this book because it's an obligation. Bullshit. You don't have to. You just need to understand what you're reading. If you understand what you're reading, you're all good. So as I say to you, we are all scrolling, and the problem is we don't wind down. And when you don't wind down, it's hard to fall asleep because you have a level of like stimulation. You are very active, you are very engaged, very alert of what you see on Instagram or TikTok or whatnot, any of those apps. But yeah, you are not winding down. So instead of resting, you are keeping your mind very, very busy. And the next day, you feel tired, distracted, and more likely to reach your phone again, and that becomes a cycle. So for your sleep is a bad thing. I would say before you go to bed, an hour, and if you can, even 45 minutes before you go to bed, just stop, put your phone aside, and maybe send a text to your friends that send you reels or whatever. It's like, please do not send me anything after 9 p.m., let's say, because you want to go to bed at 9:45 or you want to sleep at 9:45. And they will understand. People won't fucking whatever. And you say, if you have an emergency, contact me with my phone number. Done. And that's how you stop scrolling. When I was doing that, when I was stopping taking my phone in the room, fuck, I'm not gonna lie to you, waking up at 5 a.m. was all right. Now then I'm back on my phone. Even if I go to bed at 9:30, I fall asleep around 9:30, 9:50. I am fucked. Every morning I wake up and I'm going to the gym. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why? But then I'm doing my job perfectly, guys. And everyone can confirm that. Everyone that listens to this podcast and come to my class can tell Adrian's doing an amazing job. Please say that. That would make me feel good. Segment number 4, always connected but still lonely. And that's what I say to you. We're creating those social media. We created, those social media, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, to be a little bit more social and connect more with people. But I think it's doing the opposite. It's doing the opposite. Not me and my friend. I think we are pretty good. But I went to some restaurant sometime and you see a group of people and most of them are on their phone and barely watch each other but start talking but kind of not really being focused because they're reading something. Fuck. What the fuck is that? It's bullshit. And is what I wrote here. I wrote that down. I mean, I asked ChatGPT to make it a little bit more clear and beautiful because my English, when I write something, it's not the greatest, but hey, I try my best. I try my best. Here's one of the biggest contradictions of our time. We are more connected than ever, but many people feel alone. Messaging, liking, commenting it creates the illusion of connection, but it often replaces deeper real life interaction. You might have 100 of online interaction a day, but still feel disconnected. Real conversation, eye contact, share moments, those are harder to replace that than we think. So is what I say to you. Having a conversation with someone, having an eyes contact, having a moment, sharing a moment with someone is so much more interactive, so much more interesting as well, and so much more fun than fucking watch your phone. I think so. So yes, we live in a connected world, and nothing is disconnect. And you see it in the tubes. You go in London, in Paris, or whatever. When you go in the tubes or the train, what everyone is sitting head down watching their phone. Before it used to be some people reading the newspapers and watching around, and we don't have that. I wish I was born on those years without fun, because I'm the generation who's born in between both, in between the non-fun where you enjoy your fucking rugby time or football time with your friend outside, and then you have the fun period where you like kind of like disconnect a little bit and want to want to make people watch what you're doing. And like fuck, I talk again. I always say that I talked to a friend yesterday at the gym, and we were saying about like those influencers, how unfair it is. There is some people, for example, amazing CrossFit athlete, amazing CrossFit athlete, girls or guys, doesn't matter. And one of my friend posted a reel that became very famous now, is basically say, I am not attractive enough to have your attention. I am not good enough in my sport to be paid by it. I am just an influencer who posts on social media and struggle. And that's true. I know so many girls or guys, very attractive, who are doing a very good job at marketing themselves. They make way more money than a fucking professional athlete. If I take Bailey Martin as an example, we've done a YouTube video saying how much money I made with CrossFit in 3 years. The guy is an amazing athlete. He made $45,000, New Zealand dollars, I think, or Australian dollars, in 3 years. And the guy is a games athlete, 3-time games athlete. And I know some people who are not even games athletes, not even close to be. They make way more money by posting the beep, their ass all the time or whatever. But they don't do anything or show their body all the time. Fuck. How unfair is that? You can be the greatest athlete on earth, but because you don't do that, you don't get that many sponsors, and then you struggle in life. And that's one thing that pissed me off a little bit. Anyway, segment number 4 was always connected but still lonely. It's true. Segment number 5, taking back control. How can you take back control? So what we can actually do about it, that isn't about throwing your phone away. That's unrealistic. You cannot do it. You need it for your job. You need it to communicate with your family. For example, me, I'm overseas. I want to talk to my family. The cool thing about those social media like Messenger is you can have a phone call with your family every single week. And that's the thing I believe it makes a massive difference. And that's why I'm still here, I guess, in New Zealand. My parents, when they were living overseas, calling their family was so expensive that they were not doing it. And, it's really tough mentally. Anyway, it's about control. What you want is about control. Here are a few things that you can try. Doesn't mean you have to do all of them, but you can try. Turn off non-essential notification. Set a screen time limit. There is one of my friend who buy an app called Be Present. And basically she's allowed to do 5 minutes of scrolling Instagram, I think 5 times a day. But if you think about it, is that not enough? I think it is enough. Keep your phone out of reach when you are sleeping. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting it in my kitchen. My room is behind me. My kitchen is here. Obviously, I don't have the notification. I don't have nothing, and it's actually a fucking game changer. Take short, no fun break during the day. Even small change can make a big difference. The goal isn't perfection, is awareness. Because once you notice the habit, you can start changing it. When you notice that you are doing something often, you can try to find a way to stop it. And by doing some small thing, as I say, you can turn off your non-essential notification, set a screen time, or upload dating app. What the fuck? Upload an app. This app called Be Present. I think she say that to me. Be Present, and she have like 5 minutes on Instagram, which I think is incredible. Um, keep your phone out of reach when you go to bed. Just put it in your kitchen, put it in your bathroom, and just buy those because people can say, "Oh, I need it for my alarm." They still exist, those alarm clock that you put on your fucking bedside table. You put some battery or you plug them on your wall, and that's gonna wake you up. I promise. The best one is the battery one, I would say, and plug on the wall on the same time, because if you have like a electricity problem, you can still wake up because that's still on. But yeah, you don't need your phone to wake up anymore. You can just buy that and put your phone aside. That's enough. So yeah, and take some short phone break. What I'm doing for me is like when I train, I don't have my phone as much than when I don't train. Sometimes when I have a big rest, I would say, okay, I'm gonna scroll a little bit. I shouldn't, because it's not productive. If it was productive, I would say, okay, why not? I'm learning something, but I'm never learning anything with Instagram or TikTok. Someone say to me, "Oh, you can learn a lot on Instagram and TikTok." I'm like, I don't know if it's true. So yeah, that was the podcast for today. It's like, are you in control or is your phone in control? If I repeat the segment one is the invisible habit. Is basically your phone used to be a tool and now it became part of you. It's an extension of you. You need it when you go to the toilet. You need it when you eat. You need it when you wake up, and that's a habit that is invisible because it's you don't realize that you do all of that. You just do it because it's the normal thing now to do. It's like waking up, and for me, every morning I took a shower and brush my teeth. That's the first thing I do in the morning. Is a habit. When I if I don't do it, I would notice it and be like, oh, I fucked up somewhere. Segment number two, it's what is it doing to your brain? Basically, is releasing a bit of dopamine. Remember, the dopamine is a chemical in your brain that make you feel amazingly good, and it's where is it feels good because you have this chemical in your head like dopamine. When you are stimulated and when you have something, you feel good, you feel release. But for me now at the moment, I feel guilt as well. So careful. Dopamine is an amazing thing if you work for it. If you don't work for it, if it's just doom scrolling, you would always feel guilty. It's like what we say um, with porn, for example. If I go back to porn, yes, it's cool, you do it, you feel good at the time, and then you will feel guilty because you're like, why did I watch some other fucking people have sex? You know what I mean? And it's good to have little pleasure, but not every single time. So dopamine, you need to work for it to enjoy it. For example, when you do a workout, at the time it's really fucking up, but then when the workout is done, you feel so much better. And it's true. Segment number three, sleep overstimulation. Remember your phone when you go to sleep, when you watch, even if you feel you are resting, when you watch a reel, whatever, you still engage, you're still active, you're still alert, means that you are not winding down and means you get even more tired when you go to bed. Or you cannot sleep because you have this blue light that basically disturb a little bit your sleep cycle. So just try when you go to bed, don't put your phone in the room. Just 30 minutes without your phone won't kill you. And if there is an emergency, say to the people, you have my phone number, call me if there is an emergency, and I would answer. But you don't need those things. Okay. Segment number four, always connected but still lonely. And as I say to you, we create those apps, Facebook, Instagram, probably not TikTok, but to be social and connect with others. But I think we are doing the opposite because we always have a phone in our pocket or somewhere. We always have those notifications. Sometimes myself, I realize when I'm talking to someone, my phone is vibrating, and I'm losing my focus with the conversation I've got with someone. And the conversation is great, but I'm like, fuck, I need to see what's going on. What's the notification? So remember, if you want to reconnect with people, if you want to connect with yourself, a real conversation, eyes contact, sharing moments, they are really hard to replace. It's not like your phone, you can fucking throw it and replace it and it's fine. But those are hard to replace than we think. Having a real conversation, having a real moment with someone is so much more important than watching a fucking reel on Instagram. Second, segment number five is few tips and tools that can help you to take control. Take back your control. You control your life. You don't let your phone controlling you by turning off your non-essential notification. Set some screen time limits or upload an app. There is this app I remember, if I remember, is Be Present that can on our Instagram, TikTok, you can have just a 5 minute window, 5 times per day, and you don't need more than that is enough. Keep your phone out of reach when you go to bed. For my example, I put my phone in my kitchen bench, and then I'm going in bed, which is here. So it's two different room, and at least I have no distraction. I'm just on my bed, and I can notice a difference when I do it. And I wake up in the morning, I am less tired, I'm more aware, and I'm ready to fucking start my day. And then take some short break. If you are always on your phone, just or always on the screen, go outside, put your phone on your desk, go outside for 15 minutes, go grab a coffee, go for a walkie, do something, but get out of it. Get out of it. So is your phone controlling you, or are you controlling it? That's a question. That's something, the only thing, sorry, that's something only you can answer. And yeah, the only person who can answer to that is you. But the fact that you are thinking about it right now, that's a very fucking good start. It means you are ready to involve and improve and be a better person with your phone. Sorry. Is it make you think differently about your phone? Share it with someone that can potentially agree with what I say. So if you feel that everything I say here, you are connected with it, and you think someone is connected with it, share the podcast with, and maybe that's going to help them. Don't forget, guys, I always close the podcast with this beautiful sentence that say, build your mind, grow your life. This was episode number 16. Is your phone controlling you? I see you on the next one. Cheers.